Here's the thing that I thought of the other day about Phil.
I promise, by the end of this video, you will question all of Rich's thoughts and wonder why he doesn't have better interaction with the guys who work around him. This was one of the most pointless 8-minute segments I've ever seen on YouTube, and I watch a lot of YouTube. Be forewarned.
This is what I thought of the other day about Phil.
I don't know if Jay Monahan from the PGA Tour calls Peacock and demands that they step on Rich Eisen a little bit more to up his anti-Phil game. But here we go again. More of Rich Eisen's not so deep takes on Phil Mickelson.
Is what a shame of what's become of a guy who just had nothing but smiles, and he had those big old sunglasses, aviators on, thumbs up.
Pretty sure Phil Mickelson got that from Tom Cruise in Top Gun, the original one, and now everyone's going to be doing it because of Top Gun Maverick.
And everybody as he's winning a championship last year in that pandemic year, which we're still in. I guess I should stop referring to past years as pandemic years. We're still in it.
Rich, let the pandemic go.
But I mean, just seeing him, the gregarious Phil, the happy-go-lucky Phil, that might not be the real Phil. Who knows?
Taking cheap shots at Phil again. Trying to plant the seed that Phil's a phony. How dare you?
But we as fans, and him at the match with Brady and Rogers and DeChambeau. We came on the air here the day after, and I'm like, what a career he will have as a broadcaster.
Your dreams, not his.
He made it a far more entertaining product.
That's probably why the Saudis paid him $200 million.
And I thought to myself, when he's done playing or he's beginning to finish playing, he should go on a tower. I said that.
This is the part in the party where you would cut Rich off. You had too much, buddy. If you think that Phil Mickelson, who won the PGA Championship, the one before this one at age 50, wants to do that horrible golf announcer shtick, you need to think again. First, would he want to pass up $200 million to be a TV announcer? And then the second part is, would he even want to be a TV announcer? Let's go into this a little deeper, folks.
This week, Sir Nick Faldo said he's retiring from broadcasting.
Exactly. Nick Faldo is retiring from broadcasting after winning 6 majors. And, I mean, was it even a good look for him at the end? He was a good broadcaster, but it's not something you aspired to. You might end up like a Randall Chambly.
After 16 years at CBS, meaning there's going to be a seat next to Nantz.
How many people get that excited to have a seat next to Jim Nantz? I don't know. But let's take a look at another former major winner, PGA Championship winner, Paul Azinger, who's also in the announcer's booth. Who decides the face color scheme of these guys before they put on that fake bronzer tanner thing? It's weird. It's not a good look, and it's another reason maybe Phil doesn't want to be a golf announcer.
He just literally cut the legs right out from under this thing, and the ball does not move. That's just human error, really.
That was Paul Azinger pointing out the obvious at this past U.S. Open. I don't think that Phil wants to spend his golden years being shocked that a guy had his wedge slip under a ball in the rough, and then to, as a Captain Obvious statement, attribute it to human error.
And I thought to myself, that could have been Phil's. If he wanted it, obviously, who knows if he wants to do that. It is a grind. But if he's willing to go on the tour and play, or he was not a big fan of the tour and he didn't want to give them his name and full faith and credit and brand and lend it to it.
I think Phil Mickelson has been pretty clear about not being a fan of the PGA Tour especially the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, who made Phil Mickelson pay $1 million to use his own image and name, etc., during the match.
I know broadcasting for the broadcasting PGA Tour events for a major broadcasting network might not be his cup of tea either.
Now you're just straight backtracking.
But he could have been sitting in this tower next to Nantz for 16 years himself if he wanted to.
Again, probably not that exciting to Phil Mickelson, especially when he gets $200 million right now to play for a few years on the LIV Golf Tour, and potentially might have opportunities in the future there as well.
His mid-60s, however long he wants to do it. That's gone. Poof.
I'm waiting for Rich Eisen to do a segment where he laments the fact that potentially Phil Mickelson has given up a chance to do a live streaming sports show on Peacock.
Out the door. What a career he could have had post-playing. And now I guess he's making his money on the LIV Tour, and we'll see how popular this becomes. I proffer to say once football returns, this conversation about LIV versus PGA and PGA versus LIV is going to take a backseat until maybe next year.
Rich is like that constantly negative friend in your life who tells you can't do it, who's always wrong, but still wants to throw his opinion out there. Right now he's about 0 for 20 on what he thought the LIV Tour would be and what would happen.
We'll see how it plays out. If anybody's going to go seek it out online, can't wait to see how these guys do at the next event.
You know Jay Monahan is watching the next event, so he can take notes and try to come up with creative ideas for the PGA Tour that surprisingly and coincidentally match exactly what the LIV Tour is doing. Expect team formats next on the PGA Tour and little symbols for the teams. Another merchandising opportunity for the PGA Tour.
54-hole shotgun start, something like that. The curiosity factor, the rubbernecking factor, that maybe somebody winds up shooting a 60 and you want to see it. Like, what the hell happened right there? Oh, DeChambeau is in the final group with Patrick Reed, or Koepka is in the final group with Phil, who had a great weekend. I mean, you're going to start to tune into that sort of thing, will you?
It's going to be super awkward when the LIV Tour starts getting higher ratings than the PGA Tour. But Rich Eisen, being the company man he is, will come up with a new spin, most certainly.
Won't you? After a while, I think this whole LIV versus PGA Tour thing is going to burn out. And Phil's going to look around. And now what? His bank account may be back to dormy from what you read about.
Interesting use of the word dormy. And nothing like trying to smear Phil with these gambling rumors.
Or better than that, and that's his own personal life. But I just thought to myself, he should what a career in broadcasting he could have had. And the seat's open. The seat's open.
Rich is obviously watching one of those Real Housewives of insert city here, because now he's talk clapping. You know, when you talk and to emphasize it, you start clapping. Very sad moment.
Right now, the seat's open. I don't know who CBS is going to fill it with. That's what I thought. Like,
Trevor Immelman is taking over next year. Trevor Immelman.
There you go. I had no idea.
Masters champ.
Rich could have just asked the guy who was sitting 15 feet away from him before this segment began. Then he would have known the answer was Trevor Immelman. That's just being lazy with your due diligence.
Okay.
How does he have a show? I do not get the appeal.
And I'm sure Nantz and him will be a terrific listen, and because Nantz.
So to wrap this up, Rich Eisen just spent 7 to 8 minutes talking about how Phil Mickelson blew a potential opportunity to do announcing Granted, he would have had to give up $200 million, but then he would have had the honor to sit next to Jim Nantz, while the dude next to him the whole time knew that the spot was already filled with Trevor Immelman.
Makes everybody look
He's
great.
been doing the match broadcasts, and he's been great.
I've enjoyed his. It's terrific, but Phil would have been just.
And Rich still won't give it up. The spot's been filled by Trevor Immelman, and you still want to lament the fact that Phil isn't doing it.
Not to belabor it, I just thought.
The entire time after which Rich was informed that Trevor Immelman had the spot next to Jim Nantz was just straight belaboring.
That would have been Phil's seat. Could have been Phil's seat.
Will not stop belaboring the point. Give it up. Trevor Immelman has the spot.
That birdie, if you will, has flown.
If you found that golf pun painful, please subscribe, share, like, and throw your comments in the comments section.